Alright guys, what's going on? So we're going to continue where we left off on the white Galaxie. We just finished quarter panels, now we're going to do the taillight panel. Hopefully get the trunk on the car and get the back end of the car done. So all I have to do is a couple little patches on the roof, little tiny little nooks and crannies here and there. I call it sheet metal work done on this car, which is crazy to even think about. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these little quarter extension, whatever you want to call them, trunk extension pieces off and start getting this thing mocked up. So the first thing we got to do is we got to go ahead and take these off. I do have new ones. Automotive Direct actually makes these. Massive shout out to these guys. So they basically will sit right in here. I think this might be the other side, but you get the point. They kind of sit in there. The issue with mine is they're rotted out right here, rotted out up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these. Gotta pitch it around the edge with my splitter and cut off wheel and get these things cut off. Every bit of wires out of that thing. Alright, what are the odds this thing actually closes? Oh, 0. Okay. Bet. There's no way it's aligned right. Eh. I mean, it's kind of close. No, you're pushing on the back. We're closed now. That shit will too. Oh, look at that. Damn, I'm good. That's good. Minus the fact this is super effed up. It's alright, that's what I'm here to do, is fix it. You were here to quick sell the car, but
yeah,
you know how that went.
Yeah, don't remind me. I don't want to hear that.
Oh, you're never gonna live this one down.
Nope. But I'll have a cool car at the end of it at least.
Not for long.
Looks like the taillight panel lines up pretty well.
Yeah.
Sure does look good. Well, cool. Lines up pretty good. Just gotta pull this one back just a smidge, but push it down all the way. It lines up pretty damn good. Pretty happy with that. All the way over and around. This is actually the trunk that came with this car when we bought it forever ago, back in like 2019. But yeah, everything seems to line up really good. Trunk area looks like it's supposed to be there. It looks like a car again. This is actually the most this car's ever looked like a car since I tore it apart to begin with and cut the whole back of the car off. So at least it all goes back together, which means I put my little braces in there, so they're doing their thing, and they kept the quarter panel straight when I welded it, and it seems like it's all working together right. So I would have to assume the taillights will fit in it, and now I can go ahead and get everything clamped up and welded up, and I don't see a reason why I have an issue, honestly. So yeah, I'm gonna get the back of this car put back together. Looks pretty damn good though.
All right, guys, I'm getting kind of everything squared away on the Galaxie, getting all the panels fitted up. This thing looks crazy good with all the panels fit on it. And just for fun, unbolted the U-bolts because, like I said, I'm not really keeping this secret. Probably, aka I'm going to put a 4-link in this car because I want to slam it. And I can't really slam it that much with leaf springs. But just throwing the panels on it, I undid the leaf springs, then pulled the rear end up as high as I can get it in the body. And this thing looks crazy.
I mean, just look at this one shot right here. So I'm getting ride height kind of set up, figure out where it's going to sit with the panels and everything. But, I mean, look at these gaps.
And if I just pull this down a little more, they're perfect. All the way across. I mean, I can't ask for much better than that. The panel right there, that gap, looks really good. I mean, I'm like about to weld this thing in just because everything lines up so well. I was impressed. I threw the wheel off the red Galaxie on it. I hate it in this car. I don't know why. I just don't like it at all. I don't know if it's not the right spacer or the tire size is wrong, but I just don't like it at all. Even though it's the same car. When it's this low, it looks really weird. Mostly because I was too lazy to get the other wheel, so I just had this one. So I'm offsetting the weight because I don't want that rear end to fall over. This is kind of roughly where I want the ride height to sit. I think I can probably get it a hair lower. I want it about maybe an inch lower than this. You can still see I have plenty of ground clearance. That's not my issue. But you can see the leaf springs are way down there. Rear end's way up here. That's why that was not going to work to begin with. So getting rid of those was definitely a necessity for sure. But yeah, body looks really good. Body lines look really good. The fitment is okay. I'm realizing I'm going to run into some clearancing issues on the outer wheelhouse. But it's okay. We're going to fix all that. It'll work. We'll make it work. Sophie, kind of wiggle her way under here. This is the main reason why a 3-inch lowering block will not really do anything for your car. So there's right there. There's the axle way up there, the ride height that I'm at. And as you can tell, I have plenty of room. So the wheel fits fine. You can see up here, it's not hitting anything. It's hard to sell, but it doesn't hit on the other side either. You can go up plenty more. You can see that wheel well is actually really tall. So I can go lower. I'm gonna go a little lower. You can tell the axle's about to fall off the jack, so I'm probably gonna lower this thing a little bit before it falls on me and kills me. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and probably pull the lowering blocks out just for simplicity. Put it back at its stock ride height so the wheels are easier to get on and off, and then bolt the U-bolts back up and call that good. So I can get the car back on the ground. And once the car's on the ground, it'll be able to push that one out of the way and then move this to the other side of the house where I have a level concrete pad to where I can tack the suspension up and get that squared away. But the sheet metal will be done at that point. So I'm gonna stop fiddling with this amazing, looking wheel well area that I like looking at so much and focus on getting this trunk area finished because I need to. I'm gonna go ahead and lift the trunk back up, go ahead and clamp everything, get it all tacked in, and then get this thing welded. This should not take me that long to finish, so I'm gonna get all this done. All right, guys, on these Auto Metal Direct panels, so we are using the Auto Metal Direct taillight panel as well as the, I don't even know the technical name for these, I guess. Oh, truck gutter. So it's the gutter. These things fit amazing. I was worried they weren't gonna fit at first because it was kind of a tight squeeze, but everything lines up perfectly. I just use some self-tappers to kind of help it all line itself up, and then just plug some holes in it and it lines up perfectly. I had to put a little extension there. This has nothing to do with this piece. This is this upper part was rotted out, so I'm welding a new piece in there. I effed up on the top, but I'm not done, so it's gonna look like crap right now, but it's okay. I'm gonna fix it. So I'm gonna kind of get welding along this seam here. We have some weld through primer on the backside, and make sure the trunk still closes and everything checks out, and then after that point, we'll start clamping this up and just start basically going around the edge of this thing. I do have to go ahead and pull the taillight panel back off though before I weld it on, just so I can get the gutter in on that side and do the same thing all over again. So yeah. I also just want to take a moment to give a massive thank you to Auto Metal Direct for supplying panels for this car. This thing would not have happened at all if it was not for those guys. So massive shout out to them. I will leave a link down below in the description. If you have any rust or corrosion on your car, go down there. You'd be blown away at the kind of cars that they carry sheet metal for. I was shocked that they carry as much as they do for this car. You would be blown away what they might carry for years. So go down in the description of this video, check it out. Massive thank you to them. And I hope this motivates you to go get some rust fix on your car. Because if I can do it, you can do it, I promise.
Alright guys, I've been waiting for this moment for like a year with this car now, but the bulk of the metal work is finally done. That's welded, that's in, everything's the way that I want it, everything fits perfectly, and I couldn't really ask for much more considering, like I've said in the past, I'm not a sheet metal guy. I've certainly become one. I'm not an expert, but I definitely have become one, that's for sure. But if there's one thing I've learned with this entire project is that, first of all, don't buy a piece of junk. Regardless, I think we all have a little couple junk projects are lying around that we don't want to work on. But regardless, the biggest point is just because you think you can't do something does not mean anything. I have absolutely no idea why I thought it was a good idea to cut this car up, but I think it was to a point where I realized it couldn't get any worse. I had dug myself in a hole with this Bondo-filled piece of junk that if I kept digging, it was only going to get worse. And if I tried to sell it off as something it wasn't going to bring me any money or profit or anything worth my time at that point. So I figured I had nothing to lose. And really, none of us do. If you have a project that is full of Bondo or rust and you're cutting it out, you were gonna cut it out to begin with. Even if you fail miserably and send it to a shop, they were gonna cut those same parts out. It's the part of you actually taking the time to put a car back together that makes you an incredible metal worker, that makes you and teaches you all these skills that you didn't even know you had. Patience has been one of the biggest things I've learned with this car, and I wanted to actually have this thing done and sold by now, but I'm realizing what it actually takes to get one of these cars built, and I respect the hell out of all these shops that manage to do this stuff in months time. But all I can say is this thing looks incredible. Everything's welded at this point. All the gaps line up beautifully. You know, everything looks the way it should all the way across. Taillight panels in there, looks really good. That thing's straight. These auto metal direct panels are absolutely phenomenal to work with. Everything fits beautifully. You know, a couple little self tappers to line everything and some clamps. Oh, I still have one right there. And then everything just welds right in, no problem. Everything fits beautifully. You cut out the old stuff, the new stuff just drops right in. I have no idea what I would do if it wasn't for Auto Metal Direct making panels for this car. Everything fits amazing. This is almost the entire back of this car is Auto Metal Direct stuff. Besides this part of the quarters on both sides, the trunk and the whole rest of the back of the car is Auto Metal Direct panels, and they fit incredibly. But the taillight panel and the little extension gutters, those things took me a day to put in. So a lot of you guys, you know, think this may be a lot of work to take this part of your car out. You know, realistically, if it's already out, putting it all back together takes a half a day. I started this at noon, I finished at like 5:30, so it's really not that much work. And I'll definitely admit I was taking my time to film and everything, but regardless, these 25+ minute videos you guys have probably been seeing on my channel are a ton of fun to film. They are a nightmare to edit, as you could probably imagine. They take me hours and hours and hours, 5+ hours a night editing those videos that you see the night before they go up. So I'm going to cut this video a little short. I hope you guys still went on to enjoy today's video. Massive thank you to Auto Metal Direct. Go down in the description of the video and check out those panels if you guys want to do some rust repair on your car. They're incredible help on rust repair on any vehicle that you guys could have that have dents, dings, rust, or corrosion on the car. They make a panel that'll pretty much almost bolt right in. You just have to line it up and weld it. But the next video, we're going to get this thing back on its own weight, move it, swap spots between the two cars, and then I'm going to do all this stuff all over again on my red car. So that should be a lot of fun. Hope you guys are looking forward to that. But this car is about done and almost ready for paint. I got a couple little metalworking parts to do here and there, a couple small little rust patches that are super simple to me at this point. I'll knock those out, get this car moved, and I'll see you guys in the next video with that one. Bye guys.